Valley Club, there's some great characters in Marvel Strike Force. There's some trashy characters as well. And then there's those ones in between. They have some value, but they may be resource traps. We're going to talk about the biggest resource traps in this game. Not the trashy characters, but characters that have some value that you may want to shift your resources to some other places. So if you're ready to count down the top trap characters in Marvel Strike Force that you might want to be aware of, then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. Hope you're having an excellent day. In this video, we're talking about the biggest trap characters in Marvel Strike Force. So these aren't trashy characters. These are characters that do have some value and do have some justification for building all of these characters. However, certain points in the game, you may want to use your resources on other characters to build them. There may be some other priorities that you may want to build up before these characters. But before we get to this list, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for more Marvel Strike Force content. On a normal week where I'm not going out of town, at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week. However, this week we do have a wedding out of town in New Jersey, so we may be a little later with the videos. But yeah, we got all sorts of videos, countdown videos like this, news videos, question and answer videos, everything you have to experience in Marvel Strike Force. But let's talk about the first character, and these are in no particular order. First is Silver Surfer. Now, he did just get a rework. He is a part of that Annihilator team, and he has some really good stats. There are some game modes that he is very, very good in, particularly War, but in Arena, really not part of the meta. You're using the other Annihilators, maybe some other characters like Apocalypse. If you have Mephisto, you're probably using Mephisto. If you have Odin, you're probably using Odin. Not a lot of use for Silver Surfer in Arena. Not used in the raids either. I don't really see him used in Cosmic Crucible. I haven't used him on offense. I don't really see him on a defensive team in Cosmic Crucible. So where this character is going to shine particularly is War. So if you're okay with using your investment for a War character, Silver Surfer is a great option for you. He's kind of like the Photon of this team. Photon was a part of that Secret Defenders, and the rest of the Secret Defenders, the Miss Marvel, Hardlight, Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, Black Cat, were part of the Arena meta. Photon was more of a War character, and that's kind of where I see Silver Surfer right now. However, there is some other value that you have for Silver Surfer. As of me recording this, there is the latest version of Kiln Tower, the Omega Assault, and there is a floors 51 or 50, 51, 52 that you could use Annihilator characters on. And I'm hearing some people that Silver Surfer carries on 50, 51, and 52. So those are the places that you could use Silver Surfer. If you don't need him for any of those other uses in War, Kiln Tower, probably want to hold off on putting a lot of resources into him. All right, the next trap character I want to talk about is Aries. Now, Aries is a very good character, very valuable character, but a lot of the value comes from his passive and not necessarily based on the resources that you're putting into Aries. You don't need to put build him to level 100. You don't need to put a lot of gear on him, but you do need this passive fully built out and hopefully having the awakened abilities from all these battle passes that have been going on the past few weeks. At the start of any match, enemy characters cannot spawn with Safeguard. That is just his passive. That is just his awakened passive. That is not based on the resources you spend on him. Also very good in War. In War, after all other characters on spawn effects, copy and clear all positive effects, charge and revive ones for all enemies to this character. Positive effects from a Room's War bonus applied after this passive. This cannot be resisted. So very, very strong passive. Great character in War, great character in Cosmic Crucible as well, and modes like Tower Mode, Kiln Tower, if you can use him to avoid the safeguard for characters, very, very good. So Aries, good character, but not needed with a lot of resources, so this can be a big trap for you, so be careful in how much you invest in Aries. All right, moving on to one of our raid teams right now. They are getting bonus in the Orcus raids right now, so this is a current raid team. However, most of the time when I'm playing the mutant section, I'm using these 4 members: Nightcrawler, Gambit, Forge, Sunspot. Cyclops gets taken out, replaced by Old Man Logan, especially the higher difficulties of the Orcus raids. So the next trap character I want to talk about is Cyclops. He is a raid character. You can use him in the raids, especially if you don't have Old Man Logan. But once you get Old Man Logan, the value for Cyclops goes down significantly. I still see him sometimes in War defense, Crucible defense, not used on offense as well. And for myself, I'm not even using him in the raids because Old Man Logan is taking his place. So if you have Old Man Logan, the value of Cyclops goes down a lot. Not going to use him in Arena. and maybe using him on defense in Crucible or War. That is about it. The rest of the time in raids especially, you're probably going to be using Old Man Logan. Now you do have to invest a little bit in this character until you get Old Man Logan, but once you have Old Man Logan, invest in the rest of the Extreme X-Men, and you can kind of skip Cyclops at this point. And another current raid team is the Hivemind. They are another team that's getting bonuses in the current Orcus raids. A lot of these characters are very good. Void Knight has a lot of value. Red Goblin, Carnage is kind of the character that makes this team tick with this passive. However, outside of the raids, not really using one character, and that is Venom. Usually on this Hivemind team, replacing Venom with Super Skrull on offense or defense. Same thing in Crucible and in War. Now, you do need to put some investment into Venom, and that is based on the current raids that you're doing. Now, if you're doing the current highest level of Orcus raids, it might need to be a big investment, but if you're doing some lower level raids, Venom, you just build until you can finish the raids. A lot of the raid value is going to be coming from Void Knight, Red Goblin, Gwenum, and Carnage, the rest of these 4 Hivemind characters, not as much from Venom. So if you are beating the raids right now, you can stop investing in Venom because you're probably not going to use them outside the raids at all. And the last resource trap character that I want to mention before I get to some honorable mentions here is Quicksilver. Very, very good character, but never was a part of the team. Was kind of involved in arena meta for a while, never was really used in raids because it doesn't have any raid bonuses. So at this point, because he's fallen out of the arena meta, is mainly a Crucible or War character. And if you're at the end game, he's more of a defensive character. And for defensive characters in Crucible War, they're very, very low value in my opinion. So if you have built Quicksilver for his value in the past, then that's fine. But if you haven't, don't invest more resources in Quicksilver. It's not going to give you that return on investment. In my opinion, War and Crucible defensive characters are like the lowest on the tier. For me, it goes Arena, then the raids, and then Crucible, and then War. Offense over defense, and because this is a defensive character for me, very little value in the game right now. He does make it tricky for some of my opponents, but I don't really use Quicksilver too much. And if you're a newer mid-game player, he may have some value in the current Omega Assault version of the Kiln Tower. Sells 23 to 25 feature global mystic characters, and he is a global mystic character. Can pretty much carry you through those game modes, but outside of that, very, very little value for Quicksilver right now. So those are my top 5 resource trap characters right now. Let's move on to some honorable mentions. I do want to mention Ultimus. Now, this character does have some value in Arena right now. Currently using him on my Arena team. Sometimes I actually use Gore, sometimes I use Ultimus. Both of them win pretty consistently, and just based on whatever I feel like that day. So Arena, he does have some value. Not gonna have value in the raids because he wasn't designed to be a raid character, and does have some value in Crucible and War. However, he's a very resource expensive character. You may not want to build this character up all the way. As far as gear, if you look at our Dark Dimension planner here, certain characters takes different pieces to get their gear up. Well, one of the most expensive characters in the game, taking 90 pieces, is Ultimus. The rest of these characters are very expensive as well. So just for that, even though he does have some value, he's a very expensive character. That's why he's on the honorable mention, because it may not be worth the investment, all the resources that you need to spend to upgrade Ultimus. Great character, but very, very expensive, so is on the honorable mentions. And another honorable mention team is the Alpha Flight team. They are a good team. They are needed for the Spotlight raids, and either you or your lane mate needs to have an Alpha Flight to beat whatever Spotlight raid you and your alliance are doing. So they are needed for some content, especially for the raids, but outside the raids, they're very good at War defense. They are used hybrid. You could use them plug and play, some of these characters in Crucible defense, but mainly when I'm seeing this team on War defense, one character gets taken out, and that is Sunfire, usually replaced with like a Super Skrull or Mephisto or something like that. So as far as your resource trap, Sunspot may be a resource trap. He's probably the most fun character in the raid. So if you're actually playing the raids manually, this is a great character to build up. But if you're done with the raids, don't need to invest anymore, because you can beat the raids, fully sim it. You could stop investing in Sunfire, because you're probably not going to play someone on War defense with the rest of the Alpha Flight. All right, now last but not least is our boy Big Time Spider-Man. Now his value right now counters Black Knight. He's one of the best counters of Black Knight, and on that infestation team is a war defense nightmare if you go into the wrong team. If you go in the right team, they're easily smashed. But Big Time Spider-Man is kind of a resource trap because they don't have as much value on war defense. There's a lot more counters to the infestation team, and we got more and more counters to Black Knight. So the counter that Big Time Spider-Man brings is not as valuable as it once was. So if you already have Big Time Spider-Man built up from some previous value that he had, that's fine. At this point, I think we go with some other counters to Black Knight, like Old Man Logan or Void Knight or someone like that. Big Time Spider-Man does have value, but Old Man Logan, Void Knight are going to give you value in multiple game modes. So Big Time Spider-Man is an honorable mention for a trap character. That's it for the list right now. Let me know how you feel about the top 5. Do you feel that one of them should be out, moved down to the honorable mention? Should someone else be in that spot? Let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully got some entertainment and some value from this video. And if you did, leave it a like. It is free for you. Tremendously helps out the channel and that YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see what to do to beat the Omega Assault Killing Tower right now, all 52 floors, no Nimrod, no Omega Sentinel. Check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk Fist Bump, ValleyFlyin out.